One of the most important realizations any of us can have is that our time, attention, energy, and heart are our most valuable assets. They're things that we can only spend one time, and for that reason, should only be given to people who consistently show us that they're deserving. We talk a lot about red flags to look for in a potential partner, but what are some green flags that show their intentions are in the right place? 1. Their presence makes you feel more like yourself, not less. An important but often overlooked part of a relationship is how you feel about yourself when you're in someone's presence. Do they give you permission to be your fullest and most authentic self? Do you feel free, comfortable, and at peace? Do you feel like you can express your most vulnerable and hidden thoughts to them? Can you share secrets together? Do you reveal things to them that you'd never tell other people? Can you be goofy, silly, clumsy, and unfiltered with them without worrying what they're going to think? The one place that we feel fully safe and comfortable as humans is, and should be, at home. When we build a life alongside of someone, that means sharing that home space with them. And the last thing we'd ever want to do is sacrifice that haven for the wrong reasons. 2. They work to be in your presence as often as possible. People who are deserving of your time are going to invest in it. They'll show you, consistently, that they want to be around you and aren't too busy to make plans or take you somewhere or just to hang out, even if it's just for a short while. I've heard it time and time again from my private clients. They're really interested in me and we text all the time, but they're always too busy to make plans. My response is this: if they were really interested, they would make plans. I understand that life is busy, and we all have our lion's share of obligations. Your business is demanding, good babysitters are hard to find, your social calendar is full, you're on call at work almost every weekend. However, I believe that people make time for what's most important to them, even if it means getting an early coffee with you before work or a late drink with you after work, even if it means a breakfast date on a Tuesday. There's a big difference between a busy person and one that intentionally avoids making real plans with you, because real plans signal a real commitment, and it's much easier to just text or DM you for hours at a time without leaving the house. For someone to be truly deserving of your time, they must be willing to invest their own in spending it with you. 3. They ask deep and meaningful questions. Congratulations! You've taken the steps forward in your dating life that have sparked new people giving you attention. Maybe you're on dating apps. Maybe you're attending more social events. Maybe you're sparking up conversations at the grocery store. Whatever it is, you've got a variety of people reaching out to chat. What sets some apart more than others? I believe, like many other areas of life, it's reflected in the quality of the questions we ask. Anyone can have those surface-level conversations that cover your favorite movies, or where you grew up, or what your childhood pet's name was. And sure, those trivia tidbits are nice to learn about each other, but they don't get to the deeper and more meaningful core of who you are as a person. What are your values, beliefs, and views on the world? What is your deeper purpose? The meaning behind the work you do? What sort of future have you envisioned for yourself? What needs do you have in life and in love? What do you bring to the table in a relationship too? How do you feel and express affection? The people who make these more profound inquiries and give you the space to answer them will start to gain more of your attention and trust, because they're not interested in the fluff, but the substance of who you are beneath the frivolous topics that everyone else asks you about. Just make sure you're giving them the opportunity to respond in equal detail and making sure that 4. They share their heart and soul with you too. Listen, I know it's difficult to bare our souls to people, to trust others, especially after we've been hurt, to put ourselves out there and share things that open us up to potential judgment or rejection. This, however, is the risk that is required to find and build love. We must make sure that we are ready for the same things as another person if we plan to enter into a relationship with them. Ready for a future, ready for a connection, ready for mutual effort. It's one thing to make you comfortable sharing yourself with them, but it's a whole other thing to see if they're comfortable sharing themselves with you in return.
Healthy relationships can never be one-sided, and for someone to deserve your full openness, they must give theirs to you as well. If they're unable or unwilling, it doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that you're not on the same page about what you're ready for. 5. They bring positive energy to your life. I'm not a very mystical, woo-woo type of person, but I do understand the power of energy. Vibes, as you might call it. Whether or not you can easily define these concepts in your mind, you feel it in a person when they're around you. You see it in their body language, their facial expressions, the way they respond to you and treat others around you. You hear when someone complains constantly, and you also hear when someone is positive and uplifting. What's more is you see how the people around them respond. One repels while the other attracts. It's difficult at times to be honest about the type of energy our new love interest has. We're infatuated with them, drawn to them, and enthralled by them. That doesn't, however, mean they're going to be a positive influence on our life, nor that they themselves live a happy and vibrant existence. We must observe how they approach the world around them. Are they kind to others? Do they understand when mistakes are made? Are they empathetic and compassionate? Or are they generally harsh, cold, discouraging, and pessimistic? It's clear which type of person you'd rather build a life with, so there's no sense in wasting time or energy on the other. 6. They respect and honor your boundaries. Part of getting to know someone is getting to know what sort of treatment they do and don't accept, both from others and from themselves. These types of treatments are defined by their boundaries, which are quite literally the invisible lines that we draw around us in order to determine what we let in and what we don't. Your boundaries are paramount in any type of relationship, and I believe that this is where a lot of people begin to let cracks form, particularly in the beginning stages. We'll start making excuses for poor behavior. We'll start letting things slide even though it bothers us deep down. We'll start making compromises for someone that we wouldn't normally, losing sight of our clarity and what is really important to us. This point is twofold. Yes, a person you're dating must always respect your boundaries. Hell, everyone in your life needs to respect your boundaries in any capacity. But this conversation is about relationships, so that's where we're focusing. The second piece, though, is that you must have the strength and courage to express these boundaries to someone and to enforce them if they are encroached upon. A person cannot respect a boundary that they don't know exists. If someone oversteps, consider whether or not they knew the boundary existed. If they didn't, you have an opportunity to communicate what you expect from a partner. If then they choose to encroach again, you must do what is right and distance yourself due to the lack of respect. If someone makes an honest mistake once, that's fine. But if they know better and refuse to do better, that does not signal someone who deserves your heart. 7. They stand by you during tough times. Simple but poignant. Do you really believe that someone who's only there on the good days deserves your full emotional investment? A fair-weather fan in sports is someone who only roots for the team when they're winning. Otherwise, they're nowhere to be found, or worse, off rooting for whoever it is that's winning at the time. Fair-weather partners are even worse, because the reality of life is that there'll be ups and downs, challenges, pain, failures, and struggles. Entering into a relationship or a marriage, for better or for worse, means making the commitment to be beside someone on the sunny days, but also to hold the umbrella over them during the stormy days. You simply cannot trust someone who disappears during your hard times, nor should you want to. And if you can't trust someone, they absolutely do not deserve your heart. 8. They consider your feelings and opinions when making decisions. I use the term teammates sometimes when discussing partners in relationships. Some people think it's unromantic, but I think it's an accurate and necessary description of what people building a life together actually are. You form a team when you merge your lives together. You're working together towards a common goal. You each have your roles and jobs based on your skill sets and strengths. Effectively, you become a team in the game of life. Someone who continues living their life, making their own decisions about what's best for them and expecting you to just come along for the ride isn't showing you the level of consideration and respect that's necessary to make a relationship work in the long run. It's about putting we before me.
9. They encourage you to pursue your passions and dreams. You've got ambitions, goals, desires, dreams for your life and for your future. You're pushing forward and on an upward trajectory. putting your blood, sweat, and tears into creating the reality that you want to live in. Imagine then starting to date someone who puts the brakes on, encouraging you to play it safe or explaining all of the reasons why the odds of your success are so low. Immediately, your energy could be drained and the wind taken out of your sails. Even though, if you choose to push through and keep going, you'll have to listen to their negativity all the time and forge forward without the undying support of your partner. This makes the journey much harder and easily builds resentment between the two of you. Don't get me wrong. I am not suggesting that someone should stand by and watch you do something harmful or dangerous. Part of loving someone is being honest and working to protect them as well. But protecting someone and discouraging them are two very different things. Only people who cheer you on deserve your full emotional investment, not ones who work against everything you were trying to accomplish before they came along. 10. You feel at peace around them. Safety in a relationship is paramount, but not just physical safety, though that is at the top of the list. Equally as important is also emotional safety. The feeling of security knowing that you can share yourself with someone, as we discussed. This safety translates to peace. Peace is the comfort you share when you're on the couch after a long day. It's there when you share a glass of wine out by the lake. It's next to you on Sunday mornings when you're having your coffee together. Peace becomes more important in your lives as the years go on, and you stop filling your time with so much activity. Naturally, this means more time spent simply being in someone's presence, existing together, enjoying each other's company. If someone's presence in those moments doesn't bring you peace, you'll be destined for a lifetime of stress, anxiety, or always needing to feel on for one reason or another. Peace, as the years go on, becomes more important than passion. 11. They fully love and accept you and your past. The person you are today is a product of all the people you've been through the years. We all go through phases of life and have experiences that shape and mold us. Some of those experiences are healthier and more positive than others. They all, however, have made us who we are. When building a life with someone, we are making the pledge to love and accept them as they are, not try to push them into a version we want them to be. Does this mean we need to like everything about them, to like all of the decisions they've made in the past? No, it doesn't. But let's be honest, you don't like everything about yourself either. That, though, doesn't negate love. You can still accept and embrace a person for who they are today. In fact, to really deserve someone's heart and soul, you must fully accept them. Otherwise, you'll just be half in and half out, which is an environment love cannot grow in. 12. They prioritize themselves. Really? What? Listen, you want to be with someone who's mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy. You want to be with someone who can show up for you, your relationship, and your family. You want to be with someone you can live an active, healthy, and vibrant lifestyle with for as long as possible. You want someone you can adventure with. You want someone you can explore the world with. You want someone who can keep up with you intellectually. You want someone that you can build a thriving and bright life with. The truth is that a person who is capable of doing this with you must care for themselves in order to have the abilities to do so. They understand that you cannot pour water out of an empty cup, so they'll always work to keep theirs full. Self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary in order to show up at your best in life and in love. The best relationships aren't when two people complete each other. They're when two whole people come together and love each other completely. That's what you deserve. Thanks for watching.